worldwide revolution. Nothing less. It's already started. The card that you see in those packs that has the revolutionary guy throwing a bouquet of flowers, that's how the revolution's known in Europe. That came from France and Germany. This has been going on under your nose for a long time. The youth directly communicate with each other immediately. Google Translator, you could be speaking in Chinese and hit translate and it comes up in English. You have no idea what's going on with the people under 30. It's already happening now. It's not a later thing, it's a now thing. We have right now, there's a young woman, she was a Marine, her name is Tracy Harmon. She's in Iraq right now. She left April 15th, tax day. She went on she was an former Marine. She went to Iraq as part of a government humanitarian thing. I got her a bunch of these signs. Where's the Love, Freedom's Phoenix, Iraq Veterans Against the War, antiwar.com. You know, we had all the Revolution logo. Because she needed to be sponsored. Fine. Here's $1,000 go, but I want a whole bunch of pictures. She's right now in Kurdistan with refugee kids. Where's the love? Boom. I get digital photos back. We put it up on Freedom's Phoenix. Then she has antiwar.com. Boom. This stuff is going crazy all over the internet. Youth know it. This is where I spend my time. This is where the future is. This is where we have an opportunity. But was there lp.org in there? No. How many committees would you have to go through to even decide to do it? So I don't want anything. Now the side effect of a worldwide revolution is what? Money, candidates, freedom. Freedom. How about a little freedom? Can I have some freedom, please? Why do you think I do this? I just had my first granddaughter. I got a grandson on the way. This is very important to me. And St. Louis is going to be a defining moment.
The window of opportunity is here, but it's fleeting. I happen to be a policy wonk. People don't know that about me. I think they think I'm just a speaker. My whole life is studying polls. Ladies and gentlemen, libertarians have to understand what kind of moment is before us. At this moment, more people now call themselves independents than at any moment in modern political history. At this moment, more people now want and desire a third party than at any moment in modern political history. At this moment, the Tea Party has more respect in national polls than the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. At this moment, the least people in history respect government. The trust in government, all-time low, 22%. At this moment, 63% of all Americans think our country would be better off if we fired every single member of Congress. Veto. Vote every one of them out. And here's the big one. 2 weeks ago, they had the giant Tea Party in Washington, D.C., and quite a few of my friends were there. And do you know they polled the audience and asked them which political party is closest to their beliefs? And they answered Libertarian. Not Republican. It's a lie. We're kidding ourselves. We're blaming our failure on the fact those Tea Party people, they're all Republicans. No, they're not. They're ready to jump tomorrow. The conservatives are ready to jump tomorrow. And by the way, when I told you the poll that more people now call themselves independents than Republicans or Democrats and the most in history, do you know how many of them call themselves conservative versus liberal? Almost 3-to-1 of independents define themselves as conservative. And now here's the most important point of all. When they break down their political views as independents, they're more fiscally conservative than at any time in modern history and more socially moderate than at any time in history. That is the definition of the Libertarian Party. And my goal is simple. Let's go get them. Thank you.
Well, there are a couple of metrics that I would have as treasurer I just want to toss out there very quickly. Number one, what I want to see us do as a party is build up what I call a prudent rainy day reserve fund. Over the last 18 months, we've been scraping the bottom of the barrel one time too many. And what I'd like to see us do is get to the point where we've got about 6 months' expenses in reserve for unusual expenses or unusual opportunities in life. The other thing I'd like to see us do is make sure that our conventions are fully funded. Now, some of you might be aware that there was this hullabaloo early in the year about the so-called floor fee or registration fee, or I don't know what you want to call it. Now, if I'm treasurer, I'm going to make sure there's money in the budget, take care of the convention. There's not going to be a floor fee or registration fee if James is treasurer. Now, if for our group, our Our metrics are actually fairly simple. We've got several of them. The biggest ones are, by 2016, we'd like to see 1 million members and a budget of in the $80 to $100 million range. That's going to require doubling our membership and our revenues every year for the next 6. That will get us back on the growth path that we were on in the mid to late 90s. It's eminently doable. It's a stretch goal, but we can do it. It's going to take a lot of work, and but the people here, I think, are willing to do it. Other metrics would be a number of hits we get to the website, a number of new members, number of mentions in the media,